What's going on, everyone? Welcome back and Happy New Year to you too. My name is Ben, and I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate it and that you're feeling rested and relaxed. Today, we're taking a look at the top PC games coming out in January 2026 that caught my eye. It's quite a month overall, especially compared to the last few months of 2025, but there are still some really interesting releases in here, a few long-awaited launches after delays, and a couple of playtests worth checking out as well. As always, I'll run through what each game is about, what stands out about it, and when you can actually get your hands on them as well. As always, all prices are in Great British pounds unless mentioned otherwise. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. StarRupture is a co-op survival shooter that mixes first-person combat with large-scale base building and automation. You dropped onto a hostile alien planet and pretty quickly realized that survival isn't just about shooting bugs. It's about building infrastructure, managing power, and refining resources and setting yourself up to withstand what the planet throws at you, all in the name of your corporate overlords. What I really like about StarRupture is the sense of scale it's going for. You're not putting together a small shack and a workbench, you're building proper industrial setups with conveyor belts, factories, and defenses, all while waves of enemies keep testing how well you've prepared. On top of that, the planet itself periodically unleashes massive rupture events that force you to retreat and take shelter, which has a nice layer of environmental pressure too. And the playtest so far is shaping up to feel like Satisfactory colliding with a co-op shooter sprinkled with a tiny bit of Helldivers, and if that balance holds up, it could be a great time with friends as well as solo. StarRupture releases into early access on PC via Steam on the 6th of January. There's no price listed yet. Code Vein 2 is the follow-up to the anime-styled action RPG that leaned heavily into Souls-like combat without being quite as punishing as some of its genre neighbours. It throws you back into a ruined post-apocalyptic world full of dramatic boss fights, oversized weapons, and that very distinctive anime presentation. One of the things that helped the first game stand out was how flexible it let you be with your character, and that looks to be a big focus again here. The blood code system means you're not locked into one rigid build, so experimenting with different abilities and playstyles is encouraged rather than punished. Combat looks faster and more fluid this time around, and the companion system is still a big part of the experience, which helps make it more approachable if you bounce off harsher Souls-likes in the past. If you enjoyed the original or just want an action RPG with a strong style and customization, the sequel feels like a safe but solid evolution. Code Vein 2 is set to release on the 29th of January on PC via Steam as well as consoles. The standard price is $54.99, but there's a deluxe edition for $74.99, which includes some outfits and a future DLC, whereas the Ultimate Edition for $84.99 also includes the art book, soundtrack, and even more costumes. Both Deluxe and Ultimate Edition will allow you to play the game 3 days earlier if you pre-purchase. Pathologic 3 is a narrative-driven survival game that's far more interested in putting you under psychological pressure than making sure you're comfortable or having fun in a traditional sense. It's set in a town slowly collapsing under the weight of a deadly plague, where time keeps moving no matter what you do, and every decision feels like it comes at someone else's expense. This series has always been deliberately uncomfortable, and that's very much the point. You're constantly short on time, resources are scarce, and the game doesn't really care if you feel prepared or not. You've got 12 days, and that's it. Helping one character often means neglecting another, and the consequences of those choices linger. It's not a game that's trying to please everyone, but if you enjoy deeply atmospheric, story-driven experiences that challenge you mentally and emotionally, rather than mechanically, Pathologic 3 is one of the most distinctive releases this month. Pathologic 3 is coming to PC via Steam on the 9th of January. There's no price listed yet. So this one had the curse of being the one last thing at the recent Game Awards, and it left a lot of people underwhelmed. Highguard is a free-to-play PvP raid shooter from Wildlight Entertainment, and they're positioning this as from the creators of Apex Legends and Titanfall, filled with ex-Respawn developers, so they're very much leaning into that pedigree from the start. The setup is that you play as wardens, basically arcane gunslingers, and you're fighting for control of a mythical continent. But the core hook is the raid element. The loop here isn't just shoot the other team and win, you're battling rival warden crews for possession of something called the Shield Breaker, and then once you've got the advantage, you're pushing into the enemy base to destroy it and secure territory. That base-breaking, objective-driven structure is that bit that makes it feel different to a standard arena shooter, and it sounds like it's aiming for those tense swings where you can turn a match around with the right raid rather than just raw aim. My only concern is whether this one has an audience and people eager to jump into it. Being dubbed already as another Concord does not bode well for it, and Highguard has already rubbed people the wrong way, being an underwhelming announcement at a time where people were expecting or maybe hoping for Half-Life 3, Titanfall 3, or even the next Elder Scrolls as a show closer at the Game Awards rather than what we ended up getting with Highguard. Either way, it's coming soon. Highguard is releasing on PC via Steam on the 26th of January. It's going to be free to play as well, so expect special editions, currency, or at least battle passes when it launches. Let's see how it goes. Quarantine Zone: The Last Check is a border control simulation set during a viral outbreak, where your job is to decide who's allowed into the safe zone and who gets turned away. Every person you interact with could be infected, lying, or hiding something, and you're making judgment calls based on limited information and whatever tools you have available. It's the kind of game that quickly becomes less about systems and more about tension. Let the wrong person through and you risk spreading infection, but reject too many people and you're effectively condemning innocent civilians. There's a strong Papers, Please influence here, but with heavier bio-horror tone and more emphasis on atmosphere and consequence. If you like games that put you in uncomfortable decision-making roles and make you live with the outcomes, this one looks like it could hit hard. Quarantine Zone: The Last Check releases on PC via Steam on the 12th of January. There's no price listed on Steam at the moment, but there is a demo you can download and check out now if you wish. I also did play this demo way back at the beginning of 2025, so if you want to check that out, that'll be on the channel as well. Confidential Killings, a detective game, is a story-focused investigation game where you play as a detective working through a series of murder cases. The emphasis here isn't on action or flashy mechanics, but on actually thinking through evidence, examining crime scenes, and figuring out what doesn't add up. What's refreshing about this one is that it seems happy to trust the player. You're expected to read reports, connect dots, and come to your own conclusions rather than being guided from objective to objective. That slower, more methodical pace won't be for everyone, but for players who enjoy piecing together a mystery and feeling like they earn the solution, it looks like it could be very satisfying. It's also cool that it has a stylish comic book vibe to it as well. Confidential Killings, a detective game, is releasing on PC via Steam on the 12th of January. There's no pricing information listed yet, but you can download a demo and check it out on Steam right now. The Midnight Walkers is a co-op zombie survival game that blends traditional PvE undead combat with extraction-style mechanics and PvP encounters. You and your squad head into infected zones to scavenge for loot, weighing up whether it's worth pushing further or extracting before things go sideways. The different variation here is that the map or zones are actually different floors within a massive skyscraper. Tension seems to be the main focus here. Ammo and supplies are limited, death is costly, and other players can be just as dangerous as the zombies themselves. It was originally planned for November, but has since been delayed into January, which hopefully means a smoother launch and a better first impression. If you enjoy high-risk survival games that reward teamwork and communication, this one could be worth keeping an eye on. The Midnight Walkers is releasing on PC into early access via Steam on the 29th of January, priced at $19.99. I Hate This Place is a survival horror game based on a comic series of the same name, putting you in a hostile wilderness filled with supernatural threats and deeply unsettling imagery. You play as Elena, trying to stay alive in an environment that feels actively opposed to your existence. Rather than going for realism, the game leans into a bold, stylized art direction which gives it a very distinctive look and helps the horror land in a different way. It's about managing limited resources, knowing when to fight and when to avoid conflict entirely, and being especially careful once night falls, as things get significantly more dangerous. This one was previously delayed, so hopefully the extra time has gone into tightening up the survival mechanics and the overall polish. I Hate This Place is coming to PC via Steam on the 29th of January. There's no price listed at the moment, but there is a demo you can check out on Steam now. Cairn is a survival game where the mountain itself is the main threat. It's focused entirely on climbing, route planning, stamina management, and the constant risk of a single mistake undoing everything. There's something quite refreshing about how grounded this looks. Every movement matters, every decision about where to place your next anchor counts, and progress feels earned rather than given. There's also another title that was delayed into January and also coming out on the 29th of January, alongside I Hate This Place and The Midnight Walkers, and given how precise the mechanics need to be for a game like this, that extra development time could make all the difference. Cairn releases on PC via Steam on the 29th of January. There's no price listed yet, but there is a demo you can check out now to see if it's for you. Cult of the Lamb Woolhaven is a new DLC expansion for Cult of the Lamb, continuing the steady stream of post-launch support the game's been getting since its release. You're still juggling dungeon runs with cult management, rituals, and keeping your followers happy, but this DLC expands on the social and village side of the experience, throwing in a chilly winter climate to contend with, as well as a new mountainous realm to explore. You'll be able to ranch and breed rare animals to provide wool too for the good of lambkind. Cult of the Lamb has always been at its best when it leans into the contrast between the cute visuals and the dark subject matter. Woolhaven looks like more of that in the best way. If you've already sunk time into the base game and enjoy building up your cult just as much as the combat, this feels like a natural excuse to jump back in. Cult of the Lamb Woolhaven launches on the 22nd of January. It's a paid DLC and it's going to be £14.99, and you'll need the base game to play it as well. Team Fortress 2 Classified is a community-made mod for Team Fortress 2, bringing a brand new experience to Valve's long-running shooter. Rather than just adding maps or cosmetic tweaks, this mod introduces original content inspired by classic TF2 design, including new maps, weapons, and some new game modes to explore too. What makes this especially interesting is that it's built by the community, for the community, and released officially through Steam. Similar to last month's Half-Life mod update and Portal before that, it feels like a reminder of how strong the modding scene around these games still are, even all these years later. For longtime fans of Team Fortress 2, this is the kind of project that can breathe new life into a game you may not have touched in a while. Team Fortress 2 Classified is releasing on the 30th of January. It's completely free to play for anyone who already owns Team Fortress 2. And finally, to wrap up the month with a couple of playtests, Lost Isle is an upcoming survival RPG that's giving players a chance to jump in early. Set on a mysterious island, it mixes exploration, crafting and combat with a bit more RPG structure than your typical survival game. This playtest should give a good sense of how these systems actually feel in practice, especially progression and moment-to-moment gameplay. If you're curious about where the game's heading or just enjoying trying these things out early, it's a good opportunity to get hands-on and see whether it clicks for you. This is a server-based game, so you can play on PvE or PvP servers with up to 200 players at a time, experiencing the game how you want to based on your playstyle and preference. The Lost Isle playtest is running on the 9th of January through to the 12th of January, and you can request access via Steam. And the game is technically meant to be launching at some point in January 2026 as well. They haven't got a set date on this yet. I wonder if they're waiting to see how the playtest goes before they lock in that date and release it. Age of Tribulation is holding a playtest on the 9th until the 12th of January. It's an action RPG set in a dark fantasy world with a strong emphasis on combat, builds, and large-scale encounters. Promising to blend JRPG with CRPG and turn-based mechanics combined with survival roguelike gameplay too, hopefully this one isn't biting off too much than it can chew. It very much feels like a work-in-progress experience designed to gather feedback rather than show off a finished product. If you like seeing games early and getting a sense of how combat systems are shaping up before release, this playtest should give you a decent snapshot of what the developers are aiming for. The Age of Tribulation playtest takes place starting on the 9th of January, and access can be requested through Steam. And that's my picks for games coming in January 2026. A smaller list this month, but honestly, that's not a bad thing. It's a good chance to catch up on your backlog, spend more time with one or two games that really grab your attention. Let me know in the comments which of these you're planning to check out, or if there's anything I've missed that should be on the list. As always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate the support. Remember to please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful start to your new year in 2026. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.